All right, in this video, I'm going to explain to you how to solve quadratic inequalities. We're going to use a method that uses critical points, and in order to do that, we need to factor this expression. So we're trying to figure out where this quadratic is positive, where it's greater than or equal to 0. So in order to use the method that we're going to use, we're going to factor this. So this particular one factors into x plus 7 and x minus 2. Okay, so then you take each factor and you set it equal to 0, and that finds you your critical points. So this factor gives us x equals -7, and this factor gives us x equals 2. Those are the two places where this quadratic equals 0. Okay, so now you're going to make a number line and label the points. So it turned out that the one on the left happens to be negative. Make sure that you put them in the correct order on your number line. If, for instance, you'd have x equals 2 and x equals -7 there. So -7 and 2. So we're going to take this number line, which represents, all of the numbers in the world, and we're going to divide it into 3 equal sections. All of the numbers that are in between -7 and 2, everything bigger than 2, and everything less than -7. So you pick a number in each section. So I'm going to just pick -8, I'm going to pick 0, and I'm going to pick 3. Okay? So now you take these numbers and you test them. You plug them back into the quadratic and you write down whether you get a positive or negative answer. Now, I would just plug it into these parentheses and decide if it's going to be positive or negative. I don't even need to get the number because I just want to know if it's positive or negative. So a -8 plus 7 is going to be negative. And then -8 minus 2 is another negative. Two negatives multiplied together give me a positive. So every number in this section is going to give me a positive answer. Now if I take 0, 0 plus 7 is positive, 0 minus 2 is negative. A positive times a negative is going to give me a negative. Every number, I picked 0, but every number up to -6.999 all the way up to 1.999, any of those are going to give me a negative answer. I'm going to take 3 and do the same thing. 3 plus 7 is positive. 3 minus 2 is positive. Positive times a positive is a positive. Okay? So then you look up and you say, well, what kind of numbers do I want? What's my answer? Well, we're looking for where it is greater than or equal to 0. And that is math speak for positive. Okay? We want things that are positive if they're greater than or equal to 0. So down here, this is positive and this is positive. So this is the section that answers the question, and this is the section that answers or solves the equation. Okay? So once you have that on your number line, you basically have your answer. You just need to write it in interval notation. So remember, negative infinity is out here, positive infinity is out here. So my answer is everything from negative infinity to -7, and I'm going to put a bracket on my -7, union 2 to infinity. So we always put parentheses on infinity, and I have brackets on my 2 and my -7 because 2 and -7 would actually make it equal 0, and I'm allowed to because it's got this equal to sign. This is greater than or equal to, so equal to 0 solves it, so we want to include the -7 and the 2. So that's how you solve quadratic inequalities.